Good morning, everyone. Well, as you can see, there's a little bit of mess going on behind me. Like I said, yesterday I had a sewing project I was wanting to work on, and I stopped a little after 10 p.m. last night because I was like, well, it's after 10 p.m. I should probably go to bed, even though I really wanted to keep working on my project. And it's still calling my name because I want to finish my project. But in the same sense, I do need to work on my spinning. And unfortunately, today is not a rest day. Tomorrow's technically a rest day. And we have already had another rest day that I didn't take. But it's not a rest day. So I will do some spinning today. Um, and my stuff's all back here behind some fabric. I my goals for today is to work on some more of that red caramel apple. And if you watched yesterday's video, you will see that I have a little bit of a dilemma. And if you've not watched yesterday's video, please go back and watch it because said dilemma needs some help. Yeah, and I may not have actually mentioned in yesterday's video the reason behind one of my dilemmas. The red yarn, the caramel apple, and the alpaca that I had talked about before that I wasn't going to use the alpaca in the blanket. And then I said about the red having the same issue, neither one of them having wool. And a couple comments actually mentioned that, and I realized I had not actually said why I didn't want to use anything without wool. Wool has elasticity. Actually, hold on, I'm going to show you an example. So wool has elasticity, and when we talk about crimp and stuff, if you're not a spinner, and I showed this the other day, this lock of BFL, and you can see all that crimp, like literally in the 1980s, and we had the crimpers for our hair. And that means that when this gets stretched out while we're wearing it, when we wash it and stuff, it bounces back, its size bounces back. So the wool has a bounce back to it, and a lot of your other fibers doesn't have that, especially alpaca. So when alpaca stretches, it doesn't bounce back. So when we use alpaca in clothing, we always make sure to mix some wool in it so that if it stretches, it will bounce back. Because if it's 100% alpaca, when it stretches, you're just going to have stretched out clothes. It's not going to shrink back up. Kind of like when you wear your jeans and they start to stretch out, and you know once you wash them, they're going to fit you right again. And with the alpaca, it's not going to do that. So if I have those few skeins in my blanket that are 100% alpaca or something else without any wool, they're eventually going to stretch out, and the rest of the skeins are going to have the bounce back, and those won't. So that's why I didn't want to originally put that alpaca in there. And then when I realized the caramel apple didn't have any wool in it, if I put that in there, it's going to have the same effect that that alpaca would have in it, which is making me not want to put either one in it, because if they stretch, they're going to stay stretched and the other part will bounce back. So if you have not watched yesterday's, go back, help me make my decisions. And then one person did ask if I would show, and I noticed myself when I watched back the video, too far away, you couldn't really see the colors in this skein. I had mentioned about putting this skein, if I should put it into the blanket, and my son had thought it was too bright, and I said about the blue, but in the video you couldn't really tell what the colors were in it. So this is that skein, and here you can see much better. There's lots of like tealy blue. It kind of looked more green in the video, and it has much more blues in it than, there's not really any green. It's blue, brown, and white. So that was the way that one looks, and I think it probably has too much blue to go into it. So, as you can tell, I'm kinda and then one person said about the red and the beige having a candy cane look, and I was kinda thinking that too. That was such a stark difference, and it's such a bright red, and if I take that other red out, it would really be a little too bright red, I think, and it did have kind of a candy cane look. What I'm personally leaning towards, so you guys let me know, go back, watch that video, but I'm kinda leaning towards spinning up all that white and then just incorporating that white in small stripes in between colors into the blanket, which will stretch out and give me more um, yarn for the blanket and will be a nice neutral color that will fit with all of it. I paused for interruption. Kind of forgot where I was at. Kind of didn't, but I think I was at the end of a sentiment. So anyway, yeah, I kind of think I know where I'm leaning on this one. I am going to finish spinning up that red because I just have one more skein of that to do. But I think I'm leaning towards not using it or the alpaca in the blanket. And I think I'm leaning towards not using this or the candy cane stripe, but using the white. But go back and watch that video. Let me know what you think. And so my goals for today though is I'm planning on working on spinning the red and working on my sewing project that I really want to finish. So I'm not going to push myself really hard on other things. I'm going to work on the red and see what else you guys think on my ideas for my blanket spin. So I'll see you guys back in a little bit. Happy spinning. All right. It is almost 6:30 and I figured I should probably wrap up this video so I can get it uploaded. I spent most of the day sewing. This project was wow. I will not be making another one of these. That's pretty much what I have to say about it. It was very involved and took a lot of time to do. Yeah, it was challenging to say the least. Um, and technically it's not done. I still have some hand sewing left to do, but I was like, I got to get some spinning done today. So it has a crossbody strap on it and a handle. I used everything from my stash except for a piece of interfacing that I had to go to the store and get because I was out of interfacing. But otherwise, it's all from my stash. The outside fabric is actually from my son's stash from a coat he made recently. And he's like, Mom, I think I got enough of that if you want to use that. And I was like, yeah, that would be really cool on this. So, the zippers are, if you're old like me, you will remember the unique zippers. So they're old unique zippers, which also means they're an older metal zipper and they don't like to move as smoothly. So they're a little bit tight, which is slightly annoying, especially after all the time I've put into this thing. But it has this cross design. It's technically a makeup bag, but it is a project bag for me. So then it opens up flat, which is kind of hard to see because it's on my arm, but it opens up flat like this with your project in it. And if you've seen the redesigned bags by Stephen West, it's the same type of thing. And these were originally, I got thinking, I'm like, wait a minute, I've seen this before. And they were originally designed as makeup bags. So I looked one up and I did the pattern. So it opens flat like this with your project or makeup in it. And it has two little elastic pouches at this end. It has a flat pouch at this end. And then it has a zipper pouch in the center, which again, another unique zipper from my stash. So again, another tight zipper. So, and Sewing over metal zippers is not always the most fun with a sewing machine. And there's one part right down here where, to create this really nice little bundle there, but also this whole little like envelope thing, you sew back and forth over this probably 5 or 6 times before you're done going over this metal zipper. Yeah, my sewing machine was not happy with me. And this one was really nice and straight like it was supposed to be. This one, I ended up, because of the way the zipper was sitting, I ended up with a curve and it wasn't as nice. So good thing it's not being judged, as my mom would always say. But I still have to do hand sewing on all 4 of these corners because those, ow, pin, those can't be done in the sewing machine. So I thought when I got to that point, I was like, okay, I'm done on the sewing machine. That can be done downstairs watching TV or something. I'll set this aside. I'll do that in a little while. So those need to be hand sewn. Otherwise, everything else is done. But it was a pain in the butt to make this bag. And the tutorial I was watching, I'd watched a number of them, settled on this one. I liked it, though it was written mainly in metric with the inches as the secondary. So it was like 5/8 and 7/8. And hello, I don't have the best vision, and I'm trying to find these little tiny eighth ones on my sewing, clear sewing measurement thing that are not always the easiest to read anyway. And then I realized she's showing you where to lay it out. And she's like, okay, here's your center line. And like on this one, you lay it out and you've got this measurement here, and then you're cinching it in. She never said put it in this position. So I'm going and I'm sewing the things along and I'm like, man, I hope I don't get this in my seam. I kept pushing this down to make sure not get it in my seam, because she had never said, make sure it's this far down so you don't get it in your seam. Yeah. Anyway, this is a spinning thing and not a sewing thing, but that's where I was spending most of my day because I wanted to make that bag. Now I made the bag, so I started spinning and I did a bobbin. So I've got a red bobbin done. Yay! I may still spin another bobbin tonight. I'm not sure. I'm a night owl, guys. I am. I was up sewing on that until after 10 o'clock last night, and then I was like, I should probably go to bed. So I do tend to be a night owl. So I may still spin another bobbin, but I thought I needed to get my video done so that I could edit it and get it uploaded. So I may very well still spin another bobbin tonight, but I know I need to get my video up. So at the moment, I do have a bobbin done though. So I did get some spinning done today. So trying to think. I don't know that I have anything else. I talked this morning a little bit about stuff to do with yesterday's video where I was trying to make decisions. So like I said, please, if you did not see yesterday's video, go back and watch yesterday's video and give me your input. I think I know where I'm leaning, but I still would like people's input and advice. So otherwise, I will see you guys all back here tomorrow. It is technically a rest day for Tour de France, but I know I will not be taking a rest day because, it's me. And I know I have my craft Zoom every Monday morning. Actually, it's Monday morning California time, but for me, it'll be just into the afternoon. But I know I will be sitting there and spinning away. So I'll still be doing some spinning tomorrow. So I will see you guys all back here tomorrow, and I will be doing some spinning. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, Let me know how everything is going for your Tour de Fleece, and leave me a comment on yesterday's video and let me know what you think about my questions, and we'll see y'all again soon. Bye.